And welcome back to Capital Talk. I'll tell you, somebody call the fire department. Tony Gashoka has showed up and he is literally guns blazing, calling it like he sees it without fear or favor. You better listen up, folks. Don't say later on that you didn't know or you were not told. TG called it. 2 words. Sit back. Better yet, because it's Monday, lean forward.
Let me tell you something.
Go on.
As a principle, I wouldn't do what Meguna is doing.
You wouldn't?
As a principle.
Because you work there as well. You work in that office.
I don't believe you kiss and tell. I don't think you work at the highest office, and then after you work there, you go out, kiss or tell. However, I believe that Meguna is the student of Raila. And I repeat, Meguna is a student of Raila.
So he learned from the best.
He learned from the best. That Raila has no ethics. Raila doesn't hold anything back. And Raila crushes his enemies in the same way.
So that's what Meguna is doing.
What Raila is doing to Mudavadi today is what? Going out and stabbing at him and hitting him. What is he doing to Ruto? They were together. He's stabbing him and he's hitting him and he's opening up to everything. So Raila's style is crush. And then, if it suits him, run back to Moi and give him a hug and a kiss. So Meguna has decided, let me do it Raila style. So Meguna's book is not about so much about Raila crying. That's a small part of his book.
Yeah.
It's about a man who is not a reformer, who claims to be a reformer. Because I've worked with him in the reform movement. About a man who says he can be a leader of the country and is incapable of leading it. The book is going to be talking about corruption within Raila's office. It's going to be talking about corruption within the Luo nation and the dominance the Odinga family have over the Luo nation. So Meguna is going to do it Raila style, blow by blow, punch by punch.
Is it going to be a game changer, Tony?
Yes, because the problem with this is this. If you play football with a team that plays the same way as you, you can't score. So what Meguna has decided is if we play reform against new people, Raila style politics, in other words, you let Raila set the agenda, then you will always be responding to the Raila agenda. But if you unmask him and you allow people to see him, people say the king is naked. Once they see the king is naked, people will flee. Let me tell you, after I left, it was not long after that Ruto left. After Ruto left, it was not long after that Barala left. After Barala left, it was not long after that Meguna left. After Meguna left, it was not long after that Mudavadi left. Now, I am telling you, this is inevitable because the king is becoming naked.
But will Kenyans see this? Because obviously, okay, Nation is going to serialize this book. Will Kenyans read it?
If you remember, during the years of impunity, the so-called large media stayed aside. Yeah. They were away and aside when the independent media was fighting. I think the media or the mainstream media is trying to reclaim their seat on the center of the table. My own view is that the Nation, by serializing this book, has given Meguna the extra credibility that he needed to have so that the Kenya of people would actually have a believability in the book. Now, when people read something in the Nation, all the standard, or they watch Jeff Koinange on the bench, they say, my God, this must be true. But when you just say it on the street, I mean, as I was coming here, there was a man shouting with a Bible on the street, and people were just passing. But if he said it in a church, people say, the bench, people believe it. No, this will be in the Nation.
Yeah, but the Prime Minister and his team, and he's got a huge team, whether it's, on the internet or, social media, he's got a whole campaign secretariat, everything. They're really downplaying this book. They're saying, it's just one man's grief. It's just, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned sort of thing. They're really trying to downplay the book.
When I saw Moi and Raila yesterday, I remembered exactly that story. When Moi was saying that they will rule for 100 years. And of course, Moi in 2002, came up with a project that failed. Because, and I keep saying that the biggest problem my friend Uhuru Kenyatta has ever done was ever to join Moi. And so, I'm telling you, when you see Raila taking Moi's counsel and Raila and the vice versa, you realize these are two people who are going down the same path. And I guarantee you, the path that Moi went through of thinking that he can create projects in this country is the same path that Raila is going to go through. And unveiling the mask is just part of showing that this man is not only human, but flawed. human being. And that many of the things that have happened in this country, he has abandoned. In fact, I suspect there will be a lot of people who will be shocked at how many people from Luo Nyanza that he has abandoned. This is not a tribal issue. And that's why I'm happy it's an intra-Luo war. I'm happy it has been written by a Luo against a Luo. Because had it been written by Tony Gashoka, they will be saying that Uhuru Kenyatta hired me. And Jeff Koinange will be calling me a gun for hire. I don't know now what they can call Meguna. I don't know whether they will call him a madman. I don't know whether they will call the nation a gutter media when they serialize it. But by God, everybody's going to read it. And everybody's going to know that this man's naked. And the point is, in the next election, we are not going to be electing the past or words like reform. We are going to be electing the content of character.
So let me ask you this, that you mentioned the next election, Tony. Can Raila still take this? Can he be the next president of Kenya?
If he's not depressed, because I think he's already suffering depression, let me tell you, politics is a very dangerous thing. Because when you're high, you can only come down. I tell you this, if I was Raila Odinga, whether reloaded or not, I would be very worried. If the whole country is against me, which other region, which other section of Kenya, other than his backyard, is supporting him?
But you can see
I have asked you to tell me which region is supporting him.
There's a big part of the rift because now he's got Koskei on his side and he might pick him as his running mate. That's been the talk in the streets, that Henry Koskei might be the deputy president or running mate for Raila. So that means he's got a good chunk of Rift Valley.
I think you're daydreaming on the bench. William Ruto is running for president, and let me tell you, William Ruto will take the majority of the vote.
You think Ruto has more support than Koskei?
I also want to say, I was surprised the other day Musalia Mudavadi had a meeting in Kericho. It also had a very big crowd. So having a big crowd does not mean that people are going to vote for you. All I am simply saying, and I'm making this very clear to you, when Raila has resorted to go to Moi, as a last resort, those are the signs of a dying horse. It means that you have tried everything else, and now you need Baba Moi to come back and save you. Yeah. If you need Baba Moi to save you, a man we threw out here on 2002 with shame.
A man who jailed you,
of course,
or Raila,
with 7 judges. In fact, let me remind you. In fact, now that you remind me, of those 7 judges that Moi used to jail me, there's only one now left in the Court of Appeal. The vetting board got rid of all the others. And let me tell you, that same vetting board